Hello and welcome to Friendship and Joy with me, Karin. I'm here at my cottage again, and I hope you can hear me okay because it's very windy today. Not too hot, kind of humid, but windy. So if you hear the waves in the background or the trees, I apologize for that. Today I just wanted to show off my latest finished project, which is this sweater. It is I'm gonna do a little quick, it turned out large actually. It is the Kumulus Blouse. I don't know if you pronounce it Kumulus or Cumulus or whatever, but it's Kumulus Blouse from PetiteKnit, and it is knitted in a merino fingering weight from Cascade, held together with kid silk case. And I decided to knit this in 3 different colors, like a block sweater, and I think it turned out pretty good. I do think I have an issue with tension maybe, because everything that I knit turns out a lot larger after I block it. Before blocking the sweater, it fit nicely. After blocking is now a little too big, like the V is coming down a little bit far, and but it's not too bad because I always like roomier sweaters anyways, and it has quite a bit of room here. I just want to make sure that the opening does not get any bigger. Other than that, I'm very pleased with how PetiteKnit's patterns are shaped, or if you would like, they have a pretty good shape if you can keep tension, that is, and knit it the way it's supposed to be. So I do like this one. I do feel after a couple of very simple stockinette style stitching, I'm ready to do something more elaborate. My next project after finishing the one I'm doing at the moment will have to be another stranded knitting. This is funny, sometimes I actually like the look of very plain, soft, cozy sweaters, but the joy of knitting Nordic, stranded, ephemeral, whatever you call it, I have to do it. So now I pounced on my future son-in-law, and side note, we are down at just a month away till the wedding, so it's like crunch time here. Anyways, I'm now gonna knit him an Icelandic sweater, and I think I'm gonna do this one, the Afmaeli, I think it's called, Jubileum sweater. I've knitted in the past. I knitted for myself, I knitted for my godson, I've knitted one for my husband, and now it is my son-in-law's turn. Whether he wants to or not, he's getting himself an Icelandic sweater because I need to knit some stranded color work. Another project that I have in mind, because I'm always a few steps ahead, next is another Marie Wallin pattern. She does the most beautiful feral style patterns, and I have my eyes on, I just want to make sure. My finished sweater that I knitted in the past was from Marie Wallin. This time I'm going though to buy a kit and buy the yarn that she has suggested in her patterns. I'm gonna bite the bullet. They're very expensive, but my problem child turned out to be expensive too, because I ended up scrapping the yarn I had bought and bought whole new yarn, and then it turned out to a whole different story. If you don't know about what I'm talking about, I can link, there's a video on that. It's called My Problem Child. But anyways, I will buy the yarn that she suggests, so A, I get the colors that I'm looking for, and B, I'm getting the exact proper weight yarn so that I don't have to rearrange the pattern too much. That's what I'm gonna do. I wanted to show you something else. This is not a pattern. This is what I do when I want to take a break from knitting a little bit. I use up leftover yarns and I crochet toys. I have fun doing it. I'm so childish. My kids don't even want to play with them, but I do. So I made a little pig. I was trying to make a Peppa Pig. It's got a little tail there, and she's got her little ears, a little snout, which did not turn out quite as I had imagined, but oh well. I don't have patterns for these. I'm sure there are lots of crochet toy patterns. It's just, for me, I just start crocheting sometimes. It feels very good to just create as you go, to see what it turns into. And the snout, I started the whole little doll with it, or with that circle in the middle, and then I kind of wanted it to go in a little bit more. I expected this snout to come out a little bit, but it didn't really turn out that way. It's okay. I'm just creating as I go. And I made a little head, and then I continued. When I had this opening, I filled the head, and then I started crocheting the body, and as I got to where I wanted to be, I kind of started to stuff it and fill it. And then I closed it up. I changed the yarn and made a little sort of underpants, if you will. And then when that was closed up, then I do the arms separately and the legs separately, and I just use the different color yarns to create. I just create the shape as I go, and then I try to my best to remember how I did it. I write it down actually, so that I can make the second one somewhat more even. It's actually not I always say that nothing is hard when you know how to do it, but in order to create a shape, you know that if you increase in the round like this when you crochet, you end up with a flat plate. If you then continue to just crochet straight, that ends up into a tube. And if you want to then expand, then you increase every second round to get this shape to sort of balloon up, and then you decrease every second round until it kind of closes up. And in my case, I then continued to go a few rounds back and forth, so that I ended up with a whole neck down here, and then you start the process over again. So you kind of you increase and decrease to create the shape you want, and then you kind of just you go with the flow. So yeah, here's little Peppa Pig. I'm having fun with it. My goddaughter says that she's too old for this now, but I think little Peppa will have to, she's gonna live out here at the cottage, and she can stay there forever. I'm knitting a second Friday sweater vest. I think it's called, why am I so bad with names? Friday Slipover, I think it's called. It is a sweater vest, again from PetiteKnit, I think it's called. And I have now come this far. And I'm gonna work my way down, and then I'm going to pick up and do the ribbing around here and around the arms. And this is going to be for my daughter, who I tried to make the gray one for her, and that didn't really turn out. So now I'm having a second go. And I'm using the same yarn that I used for this sweater. It is a thin merino fingering from Cascade, held together with a kid seal case. And in this particular project, she wanted a very, very pale pink. So you can see with this one I held both pink yarn. I know what I did wrong with the neckline on the gray one, so this time I'm going to be more mindful of counting all the stitches. The problem, what happened was when I picked up stitches for the ribbing on the gray vest, I picked up too few. So what it ended up happening was that it was pulling up like this, and the shape was a little wrong. And I didn't think at first that was the issue, so I thought, oh, I just have to block it to straighten it out. And then it turned out even worse, because after I had blocked it, then they pulled even more because the stitches was just too few. And I was lazy, and I thought I could get away with it. I counted, I realized I didn't have enough, and I thought, oh, what the heck, I'm just gonna wing it anyways. And that was the mistake, because then after I changed the neckline, I picked up all the proper amount of stitches, and then I had the nice way, the proper ribbing. But now, since I had blocked it, the whole vest turned out to be too big for her. So this time I'm not going to be lazy. If I don't pick up the right amount of stitches, I'm gonna take them out and redo it. I'm gonna make sure I pick up the right amount of stitches this time around. Yep, so that is what I'm doing. It was just a quick little update today. I think I'm going to look for yarn for my son-in-law, and in his case I think we're looking for a nice hunter green, black and rust color in that Afmaeli Icelandic sweater. I think that's going to be nice. I love to sit out here. Usually I come out, I sit on this veranda all the time. It's so nice and breezy. I put on a podcast. I love listening to podcasts. I actually have not read many books lately. I listen to them so that I can knit at the same time. And a book that I read a few years ago that I thought was really good was called Where the Crawdads Sing by Delia Owen. And I just noticed yesterday that it is out in the theaters now, turned into a movie. So I might go, I'm here by myself, but I might go up to town to go and see a movie. It's kind of overcast today anyways. My family's not here. I don't need to cook dinner or anything. I can eat leftovers. So I just, maybe I'll just head up to town and go and see a movie. Have you ever gone to see a movie on your own? I have done it a few times, and it's actually not as scary of a thought that you think. I enjoy it. I have a few of my projects waiting for me. Anyways, I don't think I have much more than that today. Little Peppa Pig and I are gonna say goodbye. And until next time, take care. Bye. I knit toy, or sorry. I don't. I do it all the time. No, now I'm lying. This is what I do when I tell when I